Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars, welcome to another PlayStation 4 review, and today's review is for Dirt 5, and thank you for Codemasters for providing me with a review copy. Now, Dirt 5, my history of racing games. Well, if I'm being completely honest, racing games these days are not really my bag. However, I used to love them a few years ago. When I was younger, certainly I used to play them all the time. I used to love things like Gran Turismo, and I used to play like the Colin McRae games all the time with my brother and other racing games, and we'd get really competitive and things like that. These days I don't play them an awful lot, racing games. However, I must admit, after playing this game now for quite a few hours, I might just have rekindled my love for driving games here, because this game is really quite impressive. Now, I couldn't tell you the history of the other Dirt games. I've not played any of the other Dirt games, but from playing this game, it's quite clear that this is more arcade inspired than a simulation. It is definitely not really a simulation of dirt rallying. It's got a much more arcadey feel to it, a much more youthful feel to it. It's got like banging soundtrack, all this kind of stuff. And it's got quite a few modes for you to enjoy as well now. So we've got a career mode, which I'll talk about a little bit more soon. You've got an online mode, which if you know me and you know my gaming style, I'm not really into multiplayer games. However, I have tried the online mode here and it does work absolutely fine, no problems. So that's there for you guys that do like to race competitively online. There's an arcade mode and there's a playgrounds mode. Now, the playground mode is possibly, when you've had enough of the online mode and the career mode, the playground mode is possibly where you're going to spend an awful lot of your time. And essentially the playground mode is where you can build and create your own tracks from scratch, and it's quite accessible to use as well. It's not particularly difficult or challenging to use. And there's also the option to play and download like creations from the community of their very own tracks that they've created, and you can rank them and all that kind of stuff. Really found that mode really a lot of fun indeed, and some really creative tracks out there. I did sample the creating the track and things like that, but I spent most of my time racing on tracks that had already been created in the community, so I did find that really fun and entertaining. Now, the first thing that you notice when you're playing this game, I certainly noticed, was the visuals. I thought it looked beautiful, really beautiful. Really good looking game. I thought the effects were all spot on. The weather effects were fantastic. The rain on the windshield, if you want, there's different ways you can view the racing, obviously. Most of the time I did it from outside the car, but you can do it from inside the car as well, and it looks stunning. The weather effects fantastic. The mud, the rain, the slush, the sand, it all feels good and meaty, and the cars sound great, and they've got this really meaty feel to them, and they drift brilliantly. You can alter the difficulty levels if you want. You can put driver assist on and all that kind of stuff, brake assist, and if you're not particularly a veteran at racing games, you can make the game as easy or as hard as you want, which is fair enough. There's some great customizational options here. You can, as and when you win races, things like that, you'll get points, i.e. cash, and you'll get like prestige, that sort of thing, and you'll also get new decals that you unlock that you can then buy and then add on to the vehicles that you own to make them look more and more like rally cars, or however you want, basically. And it's a reasonably in-depth customizational option as well. It does its job particularly well, I think, if that's your bag. So you could literally spend a long time customizing your cars, a long time in the playgrounds, or even as well, I've spending a lot of time on the career mode. I'm enjoying that much more than I expected to, I'll be honest. Initially I found it a little bit too easy, so I upped the difficulty level, and then it got really good, really competitive, and a lot of fun indeed. And the career mode is kind of not what I expected, but that's not a bad thing. It's more a case of you kind of jump into your career immediately. There's no bells and whistles here. You get straight into your career. You've got predetermined tracks with predetermined cars, and if you've got enough money you can buy and unlock other cars. to race on that track. And you can change the decals and things like that. But you've got like these different versions of races, and they are things like Ultra Cross, Rally Raid, Land Rush, Stampede. You've got all these different versions of cars, and some of them will be big chunky 4x4, some of them will be really really good dirt track cars, and some of them feel like more traditional rally races, and some of them feel like really arcadey type, almost monster truck type races. They're all really different variations of dirt rallying, I suppose. You know, some of them are laps, some of them are time trials you've got to get from A to B. Some of them you'll be racing in snow, some of them you'll be racing on ice, in mud, loads of water, sand, dirt. I mean, the variation here is vast. It really is. And there's different countries you'll go to all over the world: Mexico, Brazil, the United States, Norway. There's all these different places and tracks that you can go, and they all have a quite distinct feel as well to them. And I really like the lighting effects in the races as well. I mean, quite a lot of the races you'll start off in sunny daylight, and then by the time you finish the race it's starting to go dark, and it just transforms the race. Really fantastic stuff. In regards to the career mode, it does feel quite a light approach, so if you're looking for that simulation type career, you're not going to get it here. There's like this youthful commentary throughout it from these two guys who I don't know, and they'll like talk about the different stages of the race and things like that, and they'll do it in kind of jokey manner. And there's no like cutscenes really to speak of, traditional cutscenes. It's more like clips of what kind of race is coming up and what to expect, with someone narrating over it in quite a youthful way is the best way I can describe it. But that's fine, because it gets you straight into the action. And the idea is you've got to win enough like coins to unlock the next stage. So you'll have a number of races, and you've got to get enough coins to unlock the next chapter, if you like, in the career. I found it challenging, but ultimately quite rewarding, the career, and I have quite enjoyed my time in it. And it's probably going to swallow up a good amount of hours to play it, the career mode. But I think, like I say, there's loads of fun to be had in the playground mode here, and in the customizational options. And there's quite a wide variety of cars as well to buy and customize and things like that. And the handling of the cars, I think, is really fantastic. You know, the right car will stick to the road like glue, the wrong car you'll slide all over the place, that kind of stuff. And the ice races are exactly what you'd expect, sliding all over the track. So if you like these sort of games, driving games, and you like rally games, I think you're going to really enjoy this one, I must admit. I'm not a huge fan of racing games, and I've had a real good time playing this one. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's quite a solid racing game, this, with lots of fun to be had, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the review, and of course I will see you back on Screen Stars very soon.